There is no guarantee for success, but there are ways to get closer to it when you do the right things. Who you surround yourself with is just as important as what you do. Finding the right people, the right classes, the right activities, and taking the right tests are all decisions that shape your future. Find out more today on Destination University with Dr. Cynthia Colon. Dr. Colon and her guests will give you the tips you need, whether you're a student, parent, or educator. Now, here is your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon.
You're listening to Destination University. This month we are running a special series called 30 Teens, 30 Dreams, where we talk to one student every single day of the month of April and find out exactly what their college admission journey was all about, what they did right, what they would do differently, and they will reveal where they're headed off to college. If you are a college-bound teen or a champion of one, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Today, we're going to meet Jeffrey, who hails from Maryland, of all places, and I can't wait for you to meet him. He is super special and has a special place in my heart. So I'll let him tell you all about his journey in just a second. And before we dive in, I wanted to share the hot tip of today. The hot tip of today is, if you haven't already created an account with collegeboard.org, you can go over there and go to bigfuture.org. Why? Because every month, especially for the class of 2023, they're giving away scholarship dollars, $500, multiple $500 awards, and two $40,000 scholarships per month through the rest of this year and well into your spring of your senior year. So just know that $1.5 million at least will be awarded to families who earn under $60,000. So head on over to bigfuture.org, where you can get all the steps and everything you need to learn about colleges, majors, careers, and scholarships. Speaking of rock stars and doing all things right, let's meet Jeffrey. Jeffrey, are you ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started and let Jeffrey be the star of the show. And Jeffrey has a special guest with him, his mom. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Mom. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. I'm glad that you're here. And it's been a while since we, talked and we met. Oh gosh, it feels like it's almost been a whole year that I first talked to your mom, Jeffrey. So that was a good thing. But let's get started in launching into how and when did you get started with your process? Was it freshman year? Was it sophomore year? Was it junior? When did you really start thinking about colleges and your college list?
So I always had in the back of my mind that a couple that I was interested in, and during actually the summer of junior year is when I really started with actually your program is like the real start.
Right.
Beyond just like thinking about it in my mind.
And I see, you're going to be majoring in engineering, and I love how you sort of narrowed down your list. For those who are younger and don't know exactly, they know engineering, but there are a number of different types of engineering. So do you have a specific type of engineering? Mechanical, is it chemical, is it aerospace, aeronautical? Like, talk to us about how you came up with the major of choice.
So right now I'm in just general engineering, and I came up with this choice because I'm not exactly sure which branch I wanted to be in, but I know that I love to build and plan different concepts. It's really fun for me. And so I think engineering will be a good start. And right now it's general engineering because the college I'm going to, you don't get to choose, you don't have to choose until your second year.
Oh, I love that. I love engineering programs that sort of explore everything. Now, so you share with us the list, a few of the places that you applied to, because I know you've got Virginia Tech and some other schools that are actually specific for STEM majors. So were you looking specifically at tech institutions or a wider range?
So I looked into how good they were at engineering and what kind of rankings they got and reviews. And also based from my family, like for example, a lot of my family members, extended family members went to Virginia Tech. So that was one of the places I applied to because of that.
Yeah, good.
And
Good. Well, and I know you did your homework. You really did your homework, because especially when we were working on your supplemental essays, you really knew sort of each school and why you were applying to each one in particular. So I really think that's a good a tip to have. So kind of along those same lines, what do you think you did right? What would you share with other students who are listening, or other families who are listening or watching this and don't know where to begin? So like, what would you say you would do? You would give them this hot tip. What is your tip?
I think that you should start by just thinking about it over your high school years, and definitely do not start by senior year. Start before senior year, because you'll have a head start and a lot more time to think about everything and get everything done on time and as well as you can do.
Just before we went live, we were sort of talking about just how time consuming this process is, and maybe it's snuck up on you, and maybe mom is sort of smirking in the background too. How much time would you say? I mean, we talk a lot about this is it's a temporary, but it's a part-time job. So when did you really know that this was going to be pretty time consuming?
Actually, during your classes in the essay writing school.
Yeah, the essay boot camp. You realized that was a lot. Yeah. Okay. And so let's talk about the essay camp for just a minute, because Jeffrey has one of my favorite essays. Actually, you might have two of my favorite essays from this last summer, and we had just over 100 students last year. So there are a few that I remember, but I definitely remember those. Do you have a favorite, Jeffrey, of the essays that you wrote? Do you have a favorite that you want to share with everybody?
Well, it's pretty hard to choose between the mom's hands and the swimming.
Yes. Those are my favorites too. Do you mind sharing a little bit about Mom's Hands essay?
So it's basically a story about how I take responsibility for the family, since my mom has a disability with her hands and can't use them very much. So I have to step up and do more things around the house compared to.
Yeah, it's very lovely. Mom, did you get a chance to read that essay?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, sure, it made you cry.
But
Yeah.
It does.
It was very, it's very moving, but so authentic to who your son is and the kind of person he is. So that was really great. And then tell them about the swim essay, because it's not actually about swimming at all, but it's a pretty fun and funny and cool essay. So share about that one a little bit.
That one's about going and shaving my legs to get ready for a big swim event, the final one of the year. Oh, actually, my whole body, not just legs. Yeah, and so it's about going beyond what you are comfortable doing and seeing it pay off in the end.
One of my favorite scenes in that essay is you actually shaving your body, I think, in the bathroom, and I think your mom is like helping tell you like how to shave, and there's this like mountain of hair building up. But that's how I pictured it in my head when I was reading it. That's the movie I was playing. Mom, was that really how it went down?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I was shocked at how much hair came off. It's a lot.
Yeah. So that's a great example of an essay that's what we call a sports essay, but it has actually nothing to do with this, like the actual swimming itself, but the perseverance and, like you said, doing things that make you uncomfortable for the sake of, winning or getting a faster time, and really teaches us a lot about you. So yeah, we're the same. Those two are my favorite as well. Okay. So the other question, the other side of that coin is, what do you wish you had done? Was there anything you wish you would have done differently? And I mean, not just in this last 10 months, I mean, starting it maybe in freshman years, or something that you would suggest to students who are listening or watching now?
I think that I would spend a little bit more time actually doing the essays and preparing for the supplementals and all of those. Starting a little bit sooner than I did would even be better, because then you'd have even more time to polish, because for a couple of my applications, I wasn't able to polish as well as I wanted to, because I was a little bit rushed on time. And if you started sooner, then obviously you wouldn't have that problem. And also, I think you should not get so into school that you don't do anything else besides just go to school and try to get good grades, because I'm like a perfectionist, but I don't really mean to be. So a lot of the times I would just spend way too much time on just like easy assignments that I would definitely get 100% if I spent like half the time on.
Ooh, that's a good tip. That's a really good tip. I when I worked at this private girls' school, I used to say, you don't spend the same amount of time studying for a quiz as you would for an exam, right? As for a test. And perfectionists tend to do that. So it's a good tip, Jeffrey. Thank you. All right, so fantastic. So let's talk about, we're getting to the good part here. You've given us your tip and what you would, definitely advise, and also what you would do differently. So thank you for those things. And now it's really time to tell us about some of the schools that you were admitted to, and how did you narrow down and choose, what was ultimately put you over the top, and then when you're ready, go ahead and reveal where you're going. But just to call out some that are on your, what I call your baseball card, I've got Purdue, University of Maryland, Penn State, Virginia Tech, and UMBC. So how did you go about narrowing down where you would go?
So first I wanted to find somewhere that was pretty close, and then I ended up mixing that with really good schools at the same time. So it was kind of just a mixture of good schools and close schools. And I was gonna pick whichever one had the best merit money and financial money, and also how close it was and how much it seemed like they wanted me.
Yes, good. Okay, and so I see that you have merit on your little scorecard here. It says you earned $125,000 in merit aid. So was that what threw you over the edge? Is that the school? Tell us. Go ahead. Tell us. I had him wait to tell me. I don't even know what he chose. So where are you going? Drum roll, please.
I'm going to Purdue.
Purdue? Oh my God, it's amazing. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's not the closest school you got into.
Nope.
Yes, the Boilermakers. That is a fantastic place to be for engineering. Really fantastic. Is that who awarded you some merit aid and showed you the love? Tell us what they did to get you to say yes.
So I originally got, before the Financial Aid Act came out, I got $10,000 per year in merit money. So that was amazing. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And then later on, more came out, and I ended up almost getting a full ride, actually.
Wow. That's amazing. Now, let me ask you, have you ever been to visit, or you just did your homework online?
A couple weeks ago, we went and actually drove out there and visited.
Oh my God. Okay, Mom, come on up a little bit closer. Okay, so I'm assuming the two of you went to visit together. And Mom, what do you want to say to your son?
Congratulations. Yeah. You worked hard, you deserve it. Yeah, the engineering school basically matched his merit money with the whatever you call it. The engineering school, I guess, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the department, or the school of engineering. Mm-hmm. That is Fantastic. Now, how far is the drive?
It's almost 9 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Not close enough to for mom to drop in every weekend, but close enough that if you need to go home, you could.
You can always get an apartment, right?
Oh my goodness.
Sacrificing time, how close it was because of how much they gave, actually.
Right. The merit award. You know, these days, college is very expensive, as you know, and any little bit will help. And so that says a lot about you and your application, for not only for Purdue to give you merit aid, but also for the department to match that award as well. So that's fantastic. Mom, are you counting down the days until you drive him away? Oh my God, what are you going to do to celebrate?
I'm gonna go live with him.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
you'll figure it out. How about your sister? Is she excited that, she's now going to be the only one, or is she just sad because her big brother's leaving? What does your sister have to say about all this?
Probably sad.
Yeah.
They're pretty close.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the reasons I just love your family so much, because I've seen how close you are as a family, and that's really special. So just don't forget that, Jeffrey. But he's going out to do what he needs to do to continue to be the man of the family, for sure. So super proud of you, Jeffrey. This is super exciting. And I want to say congratulations. Make sure you have some ice cream for sure. Anything else, Mom? Do you have any other advice for parents out there, in terms of parents who are either single parents or parents who are, that financial aid will play a role? Anything that you have to share?
I just didn't realize how much work each application would take. I mean, each one of those supplementals are at least an hour a piece is what he spent on them to get them to where he wanted them.
Right.
Sometimes ran out of time.
Well, each application is a paper interview. It's what you put on the page is what you're showing the school. So Jeffrey was diligent about getting draft after draft after draft. And in class, Jeffrey, remind me, in essay boot camp, you wrote, I think you came out with 5 or 6 essays.
I got 4 different ones, and then a short and a long of 2 of them, the moms and the moms and the shave.
He's not a writer, so you really helped with that. I mean, I don't know what we would have done without your help, literally.
Would you say he's not a what?
He's not a writer. He's not. It's hard for him. It's not his forte. It's not easy for him to write about himself or just to write. It's something that is always time consuming for him.
Yeah.
So I was worried about it, and my gosh, you were amazing at what you pulled out of him. It was amazing.
Oh, those essays were great. Now, you know what? It's interesting that you say that, because we often, and I have never put this together, but we often get a lot of students who are going to be applying as STEM majors, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. For those of you who are listening and watching, thinking, what does STEM stand for? That's what it stands for. And so, you're not alone in saying, me having heard other parents say, my son or daughter, isn't a great writer, or that's not her specialty or not his forte, but they're going to be going on to majoring in these very competitive majors, right? It's competitive to get into any engineering school. So I've never really put that together, that maybe that's why we have so many STEM majors take the class. But you did great. So with your permission, we're gonna have those be some of our samples in this coming summer's essay boot camp. So that's fantastic. Okay, so hold tight, and we'll say goodbye together in just a second, but let me do the wrap up and then we can say goodbye. And everybody who's watching, you can help me cheer on Jeffrey and congratulate him. So exciting. I'm telling you guys, if you take the class this summer, we'll be using Jeffrey's essays as samples. They're really great. Okay, so all I can say is, if this episode has in any way fueled your confidence or helped build your dreams, please share this episode with 3 people in the next 30 minutes. And if you do nothing else today, there's two things I would recommend. One is you can go over to our parent Facebook group. It's called Destination University, YOU, just like the podcast, because the destination is not university. The destination is in fact you. So that's one thing I do. And the second thing is, of course, if you have not gone over to bigfuture.org, I would highly recommend you do that. Our friends over at College Board have lots to share with you. And as you heard, Jeffrey is one of our alumni campers, SA Camp, and we are opening registration on April 11th. And so you are welcome to go in. You can start the process now and apply to reserve your spot at drcynthiacolon.com/SA Camp. So that is all I have for you, my friends. Remember, all of the month of April will be following one teen's journey every single day and celebrating them. And it's my favorite time of the year. I don't know about you, but it's my favorite time of the year to celebrate their accomplishments because so many students, seniors, work so hard like Jeffrey. So, all right, round of applause. Yay, super proud of you. All right, Mom and Jeffrey, go ahead and wave goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening this week to Destination University. Be sure to join Dr. Cynthia Colon again and get one step closer to your success.